got 1 minute. If anybody else wants to sign up, we got 1 minute. 59 seconds. Uh-oh. Challenge. A wild science guy appears.
No, I'm already up there. I'm number 2.
You can put it up twice. It's fine.
Oh.
Oh, that's how you can have 10 minutes?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, bro.
It's about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, this is. Oh, now it's 7. Okay. All right. I was doing a little too much energy. Yeah, but gotta get it. Are we ready? Where is he? It was right there.
Over here.
Oh, here, there he is.
He's hiding behind
Keeping me out.
computer.
Is there a way to like dim the lights or something, make it look cool in here?
You can control the lights right there.
But is there a way to make it look
Some of
better?
the lights, you have to turn off there over there. You see all those?
Okay. All right. Okay.
Different ones turn
We'll
off
let them
different.
finish.
And I don't know which ones turn off which.
You want to experiment?
Yeah, let's do it out. Okay, that looks better a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's nice. Yeah, that's a nice, good mood. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Stop.
What if we turned all the lights off and I came out and I was in like a light up alien costume?
That'd be cool.
What would you guys do?
That'd be
What
cool.
would you think of that? That'd be awesome. Right?
Nice.
Got a shark right there.
But we
You could
need
get
to
a lot
have
here.
the light in the kitchen
No.
on, so. No, that's fine, right now. That light. No, turn that off.
Turn it off?
Turn that one off, whatever you have. See, that light is on in the kitchen, so that's fine. But I don't know whether these are,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe His Highness over there knows the electrical.
He's concentrating. I'm not gonna.
The live stream is not connecting over to YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Alright. Well, maybe that happened.
Kids, what about you?
Thanks.
It's not me. I'm figuring it out.
I don't know.
He's figuring it out.
Actually, I gave this talk, but it was a 1 hour talk. I haven't prepared. I just will
That's
try
okay.
to.
This is improv.
We'll try to jump
improving.
over the bullshit
Right.
when you said that. Okay.
I'm improv.
Then just wing it.
Yeah.
If you just keep going, they can't keep you up the stage.
Yeah. That's right. You're a big dude. Nobody can take you in here, bro. Yeah, you got the advantage in here, man. I need to get my lightsaber out. Defeat this man.
The idea is, what they promise is that you're being protected from the government, whatever, spying on you.
Oh, okay.
But-
All right. Hello, everyone. Tonight, we're going to get started. First off, welcome to Hacker Dojo. My name is Eric Hess. I'm the executive director here. So thank you all for coming out tonight. We've got some pretty exciting talks tonight. In fact, I took the challenge and I'm going to get to talk myself. So a couple of quick announcements for this upcoming week. On Sunday from about 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, this main area will be closed. We are helping film a documentary on the history of Silicon Valley. So they're going to be doing some recording in here for about 2 hours. We will have our quiet spaces available, but the main area will be blocked off and will be quiet during that time. We also have some fun events coming up on the 20th. We're going to have a panel discussion on AI and modern workforces. That'll be posted relatively soon, so keep an eye out for that. If you don't follow our meetup, make sure that you do. That's where all of our events and things that are going on are posted. So that'll keep you most up to date on all the happenings here in the dojo. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our host tonight.
That's right. Now, should I walk around or should I stay up there?
That one should be live now.
Should I walk or should I stay up here?
If you want to be on camera, you want to be in front of that camera.
All right. What's up, guys? It's Friday night.
What's up?
That's right. We made it.
Yeah.
We are live on Friday. Thank you. That's good. Okay. All right. So you're about to do talks, but I'm about to troll, so who cares? All right. So we got 5 minutes each. Maybe we could give you a tiny bit extra because we're missing 2 of them. But yeah. Well, welcome, guys. If you have light mode on your laptop, you need to make a written apology to Steve Jobs. Disturbing me mentally with that. Like, don't do that. Just kidding. If Eric's not laughing, it doesn't count. So look over here. Okay. All right. So, hold on. I just want to roast some people for a second. All right. This is funny. First off, I got to shout out Sam Altman's right here. Everybody, you want to stand up, Sam Altman? That's good. Don't say nothing. He's training the AI. Don't say nothing. Shh. Shut up, guys.
Maybe it's not really.
He's just making it talk like you, science dad. You're going to get screwed. You're going to get scammed.
Yeah.
Stop that. It looks like a wild challenger has appeared and is signing in. Nobody intimidate him. Leave him alone, please. Even though this is the den of the tiger. Right there. All right. Are we ready? Okay. So, first, coming up here. H2B. Yes. Excited to see what's going on here with that. I'm gonna put my phone down. Anyway, guys, it's Friday night, so we got a keg. If you want to get some beer, that's cool. We're gonna get some beer, maybe I'll order pizza later, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. The screen is not appearing to be on at this point.
Will be in just a second.
Well, okay. Nice. I just want to bring another shout out right here. This man has the best gaming laptop. I just want to recognize. I don't know if you're coding on a gaming laptop. That's how I know you're serious. Yes. And don't have a Macintosh. That's failure. Get that. That's awesome, bro. Thank you. I'm steal that. I'm playing Overwatch later. I'm stealing that computer, bro. just kidding. He's gonna find me. I'm scared. I'm sorry. This man, whoa, Sam Altman brought his guitar on this right now? What are you doing? You got a guitar?
Number 3.
Okay, nice. Okay, it looks like we're ready. That's it. All right, H2B is ready to go.
Whoa. I like that.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, it's on.
Hello. I'm Balaji. I'm a software engineer as a consultant or for different companies. I have my own startup called 8 Waves, based on some of the biological system. I designed some of the robotic systems. I have displayed a lot of animal-based robotic system past a few months. One of them is now today honeybee inspired hydrogen fuel spacecraft. Basically, it is designed based on the honeybee evolved for millions of years to be more precise and very agile to identify honey. So similarly, how to identify hydrogen fuel in Moon or other planets is the challenge for the most of the space corporations. So I'm trying to see how honeybees can help in their swarm intelligence in a structural way, basically. So this is one of the design. It is like a honeycomb, or you can say the craters in the moon. You can say it is similar to the honeycomb which honeybees hunts. We use this spacecraft design to actually collect the hydrogen particle which is frozen in this craters. Basically, they identify already there craters have some frozen water. So based on some other design, yeah, this is kind of almost looks like a bee, but it is a spacecraft. So there's another type. It's kind of collecting hexagonal wells of hydrogen on Mars. Maybe. So there's another one, honeybees type on Moon crater. And the multi-dimensional bee structure with the spacecraft which adapts to the situation. And there's another design. It's also smooth like the honeybee structure. So basically hydrogen is getting traction as a fuel. Even a lot of buses and heavy equipment they are using right now. It is gasoline. They are not going for gasoline. Slowly it's going to reduce, and hydrogen-based fuel will be replaced soon. So it is green because it produced byproduct is water. So it is preferable for green revolution. So there's another B-type spacecraft which has also is a unique cockpit which has these resemblance. There's another one which is like a hovercraft, but that has more space to store hydrogen. This is a more wide jet. Type. This is for collecting the space debris. We need a certain spacecraft which can collect waste from the space. So space industry needs hydrogen for that type of space and how to create these cells. We need certain type of small vehicles which construct and transport hydrogen cells on Mars, and it's kind of a hovering robot which digs the wells further. And there's another fuel cell constructor, we can say. It looks like a bee also, based on the structure. I think I almost came to the end of the slide. So
30 seconds, man.
Yeah. And basically what I am trying to see is how this swarm intelligence can be used in a way to reduce the greenhouse emissions reduction, and using its unique structure, we can collect hydrogen in a collaborative way like honeys, and that way it can help us in fuel efficient vehicles. Thank you. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, the spaceship, the one that runs on hydrogen. How many people does that fit? Because I feel like I want to head out in a second. Like
how many seats?
Seats. Oh, okay.
Because it looks like maybe I could fit like me and Pete and him. I feel like it could fit a few people.
Oh, yeah. It depends on different
In the mic.
design. So there
Oh,
are
wait,
two
we gotta
seaters.
get a mic, and nobody can hear you.
Yeah, two seaters like this one.
Okay,
Oh, that's a two-seater, that's like a sports car one?
Okay,
Okay,
that's
that's
cool.
cool, that's nice,
Wait,
go back to that one, see the other one.
That's
That's awesome.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so this one goes extra fast, 'cause it's like sport version.
Sport
Sport
mode.
mode,
I like that.
That's cool, that's cool.
Does it come in? This is like the yellow. Does it come like red or anything?
Does it have any other colors?
Honeybee color.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
well, I feel like red is my brand.
I'm just saying. All right.
Alright.
I have a question.
Anybody else?
Yes.
I'm sorry. This is my first time. It is? Okay. This is my first time.
Okay, so you're planning on,
The
the fuel
being stored either on the moon and Mars and other planets. Is that it?
It is a collection mechanism. So honeybees collect honey. Yes, similarly, hydrogen is already stored in moon craters. It is already frozen. It is like a fuel. It's already available, but we have to collect it in a way like honeybee does.
Oh.
Are there any specific design principles you follow when coming up with variants of the honeybee?
Honey, I have a biological background. My undergraduate is biology. So while dissecting insects things, I see the efficient storage things and nervous system, how they operate. So that is the basic how I based on that design, how we can use that million-year evolution design in an efficient way to the spacecraft. So that way, this type of actually this is AI generated one. We have to give parameters for that, and it generates. So that way, it's a kind of fusion technology, we can say, biological, biomimicry type one. Yeah.
I just want to ask some questions about your graphics. I mean, it looks like you paid thousands of dollars for those graphics. They look really good. You know?
Thank you.
What program did I'm assuming you generated with AI, right?
Yeah, I tried different. It takes time at least. You have to spend 4 or 5 hours for one picture to get. Yeah, trial and error.
Finally get it. What program?
Mid-Journey, and combination of Mid-Journey and
What would be like a
DALI.
What would be like a prompt for that? Let's say. What would be the prompt?
Yeah, it's a big type of spacecraft, and you have to try different parameters for it. Yeah.
I just have another question about the interplanetary travel aspect.
Yeah.
Is there Mexican food? Because if I eat the burrito, I really don't think I want to go.
Yeah.
There's Mexican food. He said there's Mexican food.
Well, secondly, the most important question is, who else is going? Because I want to check before I decide. You're going?
Oh, okay. By the way, for the readers, listeners, everybody's going. So you gotta get on this.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Any other
Thank you.
questions?
No. All right.
All right, thank you.
Do you need any no, I was going to use the whiteboard here.
Grab that whiteboard.
Yeah.
You can only use this side.
All right, up next,
We got
a man who just won the award at the Halloween party. We were there. This is Science Dad.
I don't
remember his real name because we've all been calling him Science Dad for his entire life.
Just
So,
Jim.
Jim,
aka
Science Dad.
And he won
Science Socks.
So, yeah. So that's cool.
All right.
I'm thinking
about Mexican food now. I probably shouldn't have brought that up because now I'm like, it's like in my mind. Gotta get something going. Yeah, here it goes.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys a discovery I made. with respect to water. And it's a discovery that's on the fundamentals of hydrogen bonding and water. And I'll kind of give you some details on how I made the discovery, but I'll just step you through it right here. Might put this down every little. So that's just going to be an atom, okay? It's not any particular atom. We're just going to kind of look at it as kind of a generic atom. And now I'm going to go ahead and write another atom up here. Okay. Now that's a smaller atom. Now, these atoms have differences in terms of what quality we refer to as their electronegativity. And that has to do with their tendency to attract electrons specifically. And when two molecules come together and form a covalent bond, and they have differences in electronegativity, it automatically creates what we call polarity. Let me go ahead and demonstrate that for you. And these are joined by a covalent bond. Let's do that for the covalent bond. And now these have this quality of polarity, meaning that on this side, you're going to have actually more of a negative. There's going to be like an electrical gradient going out there. And this one I'm drawing in right here, these are the nuclei, though that's very important. And this is considered polar because this is actually more positive down here, and this is negative up here. Now what that means is this thing, when it gets together with itself, it'll start to form what they call hydrogen bonds. Now, hydrogen bonds, if we were to demonstrate them here, we're going to imagine there's two of these molecules, and they form a hydrogen bond as such. And here's the thing. Right now, this is polar. This too is polar. But now, the polarity for this particular nuclei right here is no longer the case because it's surrounded on both sides by an equal electrical gradient, an equal electrical charge. So in a sense, what we just demonstrated here was that polarity is actually a variable. It can actually be turned off. And it can be turned on, and it's simply by proximity to each other. Now, you might think, well, that doesn't sound like such a big discovery, but believe it or not, science hasn't figured this out yet. And also in the context of water, where things get a little bit more complicated, that's where the implications are really big, is with respect to water. So right there we have, this is the oxygen, and these are the hydrogen. Now, right now, this has a polarity at 100%. But if this makes more hydrogen bonds, here's one here, here's one here, with other H2O molecules, the polarity begins to drop each time you make another hydrogen bond. And it can make up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this polarity can literally vary between 100% and down to 25%, and actually all the way down to 0% when it's completely surrounded, because each time it makes a hydrogen bond, 1/4 of the polarity is neutralized. And this allows us to explain certain observations that the previous theory did not allow us to explain. For example, the low viscosity of liquid water was completely unexplained by the previous theory because it assumed that the polarity here was a constant, and therefore if it's constant, you would never assume that water could have low viscosity. Another one too is this allows us to explain a concept of surface tension in that along a surface, you can't have it surround itself on all four sides. So by necessity, one of these gets wiped out, and that means that the remaining polarity is going to be 25%. And that allows us to describe why it is that on the surface of liquid water, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. On the surface of liquid water, you do have a hard layer there. And it's because they were not able to fully neutralize each other on the surface because of the geometry of a surface. Doesn't allow them to come around. Now, believe it or not, this is a brand new discovery. No one else in science has figured this out yet.
Yeah.
So, that's it.
Thank you. That's awesome. Well, I don't know I don't understand anything. I'm a software engineer, so I'm gonna give this to you guys for the question.
So like any good science, this different understanding of what a varying polarity can be tested. Have you thought of a practical test where this understanding would have a different result than the traditional understanding?
Yeah, one of them is explaining surface tension. You know, what I just did. The current theory can't explain it. There's like a whole bunch of anomalies, and each one of them could be considered a test. Now, the word anomaly is a label they put on a bunch of observations of water, and it has to do with the fact that our theory doesn't predict what it does. This understanding erases all the anomalies. So it says there's no longer any anomalies of H2O because now we have the theory correct. So to answer your question, there's a whole bunch of observations that this theory explains and that theirs doesn't explain, and they literally put the word anomaly on it to indicate why it doesn't explain it, you know?
All right. Okay. Anybody else? Cool. I would give them a hands up right now. Yeah, clap. Awesome. Hey, can somebody help get the whiteboard off?
Here.
Sorry. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, we got. This is new for me. This musical performance. I'm excited for this. I'm excited. No, she says it's so cool. So you're already getting good reviews here. So this is good. This is like. This is like Merry Christmas. I like that. I like that. So you guys better go crazy.
Yeah, how have I never seen this?
Well, I don't know. He's an alien. He just got here. He showed up, like, from, space. Actually, he took the whole... Yeah, he took the shit, bro.
Came from the future.
Yeah, he did. You have to say you invented it.
So,
are you gonna sing too, or just the... I'm not nervous, guys.
No, I'm not singing.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, we will not be asking questions for this one, so I'll put the mic down.
Did you see the bear?
You said you need the screen. Yeah, just turn the screen on.
Have you seen the bear? Thanks.
All right.
Whoa.
Should I drop acid?
Definitely, bro.
Dude, that's like exactly what I saw, man. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm showing my age, sorry.
I think they're creating acid in the sink when they don't wash their dishes.
Wow.
Wait, should we turn the
Okay.
lights on?
Yeah.
Yeah, turn off,
You are on the
turn off all the lights.
left of center where you are right now.
Just turn it down to
Oh, okay,
our
cool.
image here.
Just
Oh
FYI. Okay, good. Do you want the mic on you? I guess so.
Okay. So cool.
Good. Good? Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Steven. And this is Wonderwall. So this is my startup, mostly audio. I'm making this new type of synthesizer combined with a guitar. I didn't invent this concept of doing this, but I've created this version with some help from some other people, and I'm producing them. I've done like a small production run, and I'm trying to scale and grow it up. So anyways, this is it's a the fretboard is laid out the same as a standard guitar fretboard. So I've got kind of 6 strings, and then I can morph the sound with the touchpad. So I can do the same kind of chords that you learn on guitar. And then I also have it mapped with this visualizer. I didn't create the visualizer, but it integrates with MIDI. This is sends out MIDI data, which is kind of note data, and then you can connect that with whatever synthesizer you want, or in this case, visuals and the synthesizer. So I don't really have a song or anything, but I can just kind of play a bit. This is, let's see, you can do kind of different new type of techniques. Oh no. Oh.
Oh, there it is. It's back.
It's back.
Oh, I think the computer turned off.
Yeah.
Or yeah. So you can do it's a multi-touch touchpad here, and you can kind of hold one note down and then change the expression. You can also, I can change the sound. So this is an arpeggiator and a pad. Let's see. It also works well with like bass sounds.
Thank you. That was great. Okay, can we turn the lights back on? Thank you. That was great. The funky sounds, turn that off. People are getting pregnant in here. I don't like that. Turn that off. Just kidding. I'm sure we're gonna have a ton of questions. Great job.
Got a question?
Put your hand up, please.
I don't know
anything about this either. So throw your hand up, please.
So many questions. I guess one to start with is how the controls actually work. Is the vertical axis which string you're hitting?
Yeah. So this is like there's 6 strings here, and then if I go up and down one, it's in half steps, and then if I go down, it's the same as a guitar.
And I saw you switch the type of sound you're making. I didn't see how you did that.
Yeah, so I've got some kind of hidden functionality in here. So I can do 4-finger touch on the touchpad, and then these are all different sounds. And I've got like a bunch mapped up here.
Very cool. Where do I get one?
When do I?
They're for sale online.
Oh shit.
Mostlyaudio.com.
Oh, you didn't even plug your own site, bro. Say it again.
mosiaudio.com.
Okay,
Okay, good.
All right.
All right.
Who's got questions?
You build it yourself.
Yep.
So I'm interested in the visual part. So how you said some software you're using to connect a sensor to change it to
Yeah. I'll show you how the visuals work real quick. So what I'm doing. This is the app, and then let's see. I can show you the controls here. So you can see up here, I've got 2 controls that I have mapped up to the touchpad. So I've got the X and the Y here that are changing those.
That's
And you,
awesome.
you can map it up in different ways too.
Does anyone remember that Windows feature where you were like playing music and it was making a screen? That was awesome.
I'm wondering, did you
that was
a product you bought though, or is that?
Yeah, this is called synesthesia.
No, I mean the guitar.
No, this is what I'm making.
What's that?
This is what I'm
We
making.
literally built that.
Yeah.
Did you make improvements to it that didn't exist before? So is it some of it original?
Yeah, it's all.
Or all
of it.
I don't know.
So the concept of putting a touchpad in a guitar body is I didn't come up with that, but this whole instrument is made from scratch.
Really?
I worked with the person who did kind of come up with the idea of it, and he helped me a bit with it too.
If you
need a fix, can you take it to the Apple Store? Okay, all right, because I'm gonna break it.
Here you go.
So the board is capacitive.
Yeah, this is.
Have you tried, just out of curiosity, have you tried to use the capacitive board as a proximity sensor to do air motions? I have done that with a project that I have personally. Had some fun with it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Have you tried?
I actually haven't tried it with.
That's great.
Yeah. I know that there are other instruments out there that do that kind of thing. Yeah, but that'd be cool to have that kind of thing.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
The software, I assume, it controls what the pad does is yours?
Yeah.
So can you add like multi-track, so you can add layers and layers on top of it, controlling it from the board?
So you can, it's outputting MIDI, which is like a standard, and you can do whatever you want with that. So like with this sound, I have 2 different sounds loaded up that they're layered.
I mean, like if you had a multi-track synthesizer recorder connected up to this, could you intercept the MIDI stream for some like special signal that means, all right, save this track, repeat, now I'm gonna lay down the next track.
Or you can just connect it to a looper. That should work.
Yeah, you can definitely use a looper. I'm not sure exactly if you can do that. I'm working on adding more features to it, so yeah, that's the idea, is to be able to do something.
Awesome. Can I use that guitar to authenticate on my laptop with biometrics and shit? Okay, that Pete says yes, and he works in cybersecurity. Thank you so much. It's awesome. Wow. Okay, I'm also curious because the second demo said Alien Cavern. I was feeling that. That was interesting to me. Thank you. All right, so who do we have next? Okay, he's here to scare the shit out of everybody. VPNs won't protect you. I think people need to know about that, man. I agree. The people not being secure in the airport. Why you got your airdrop on in the airports? Turn that shit off immediately, bro.
How about the USB charger in the airport?
Agreed. I agree. And you know what else? I let all of y'all airdrop memes onto my phone. I had to wet my phone. I don't one of y'all is I don't trust you.
You actually wipe the virus on your phone, and I know you didn't wipe it.
Okay, perfect. Pete knows. He knows what's gone. This guy, Pete worked at Meta. Everybody shun him. He ruined your life. Shun level.
I improved security.
Yeah, he improved it. He improved stealing your data. So did I. I worked at Google. I super stole your data, bro.
Yeah, but
what you gonna do?
You don't
have logs. Oh,
Suck it.
suck it.
I'm
I'm sorry, there's some lies. I'm sorry. Okay, we're excited. Thank you, sir.
This is
We're not monetized, but if we were, that would end tonight.
Also, he's got. Yeah, this is how you know he's serious. He's got like 15 tabs open. Let's give it up.
That's totally. I'm sorry I'll gloss over a lot of stuff because this was supposed to be like a 40-minute thing that I've done before. But the point here is, most likely whatever you saw on that VPN ad that you have seen when you were trying to watch YouTube was not real or not as protective as you might think it was. So you've seen CyberGhost, Fast VPN, whatever. Maybe this can carry on. Why?
I just hacked you. That's why it's not working. Just kidding.
Oh, it's just a lot of YouTubers saying that you should buy a VPN. Anyways, but the thing is, oh no.
Yeah, they're just advertising.
Yep.
Interesting.
Okay.
It's more comfortable to guide this thing this way. But the thing is, they said they have military-grade encryption. That's a funny one. I'll explain about it. They can stop the government from spying on you. That they promise they will not take your data instead of the government. Yeah, and it's super cheap compared to all the security you will get. It's just $14 a month. So don't worry. And no one will know your IP if you have this. All of this is the promises, and all of them are BS, basically. If you want, I can give you my IP. I guarantee none of you will be able to do anything, not because I have something special, it's just because we are not in the 90s anymore, so who cares about IPs? And then, the thing about those lies is that they try to portray to people that if they're just chilling using their computers and they don't have a VPN, they're being spied on all day, every day. But in reality, you could be more in danger of being spied on if you have a VPN. Because one, if you're the government and you want to find people that's trying to do sketchy stuff, where do you find them? Using a VPN. You just go put a gag order on the VPN company and you find all of them and you grab them. And it's not a crazy idea. It has happened before a lot. And the funny thing about gag orders is that the first thing about the order is that the VPN provider cannot tell you that they have been contacted by the government. So yeah. That's I'm doing some assumptions, but yeah. Some attacks to prove my point. So yeah, we have CyberGhost was hacked once. This is another hack for NordVPN in 2019 that they confirmed they were hacked. This is another one from Hide My Ass that was hacked by LulzSec. So this is the 3 ones I found that day in 5 minutes that I have for research, but I know there's a lot more. I don't want to click this because I don't know if we'll hijack my full screen again. The thing is, they have compromised employees in companies. They have gag orders. They need to report you if they know that you have been doing suspicious stuff. And, well, it's trust-based because they tell you, oh, do you trust your government or do you trust your ISP to not spy on you? But do you trust them? Like, do you even know them at all? You didn't vote for them at least, so yeah. I don't think it's a good trade-off. And then a question I always get when I talk about this is, but are they like 100% useless? Well, not really. If you are, I don't know, on a cafeteria or something, and you want to use your banking data, and you don't have a better thing, and you are not sure your devices are securized any other way, VPN might be an okay idea to have extra protection. If you are on a campus or government site or in a place that blocks you from using special stuff on the internet, you could use a VPN. And to use some gringo Netflix, that was a joke because I gave this talk in Latin America, so a lot of people use VPNs for that. So some alternatives, fixes and stuff. Well, the first thing is you already have HTTPS. HTTPS, it's military grade encryption. It's there by default. It's not worse. That's one thing, so make sure you use HTTPS. Another thing that you can do is you can change your computer to use DNS over HTTPS. If you check on how to do that and configure that, now the people not only will be able to see the content of your pages, but they also won't be able to see where you're trying to navigate. And that's all that you were getting from the VPN for free without lowering your speed. So something you can do. As you can see, you can protect your DNS from the attackers. And then some other weird options you might use is using something like VVPN or Mysterium. There are decentralized VPNs, and the crypto bros just care about their cryptos, and they cannot literally see your stuff like the other companies, and they cannot be gagged. Or you can just buy a cheap cloud and put Wirecard on it. Wirecard is a kind of VPN that is super fast, super reliable. And I think that's it. Yeah, so.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was really great. Actually,
Thank you.
This guy's bringing real knowledge right now.
Do you really
want private shit?
Onion. Right?
This guy's onion. You get what I'm saying, man? Onion. But don't do it! Because
did you know that the FBI have farms of onion endpoints so they can...
Yeah, I know that too, bro, but we also got Pegasus. There's no way to get out. I'm not doing no shit. But another cool VPN fact is that if you're using a VPN, that's who used to work on the Google Chrome security team. You're using a VPN, you're going to get spammed with CAPTCHAs, so Google makes you turn off your VPN so they can sell your approximate data. But another thing is you can get cheaper flights using VPN. So just putting that out there.
Yeah, just like that.
This guy knows. He knows.
I mean, European Netflix is even better, so.
Hell yeah.
Check that out.
Okay, everybody give it up. I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah, any questions?
Questions?
Of course, Pete. Of course. What about core?
As I just said.
And there's both. Yeah, and then there's Tor, like onion, Tor VPNs. I was thinking Tor alone, but
Tor kind of have the same problem, in the sense that FBI has a lot of the nodes hijacked. But my point here is that there's other hardening stuff that you can do that are not VPNs and don't depend on other people, just depend on your device. That gives you better chances of surviving than just trying to use any kind of VPN. Like my favorite kind of VPN, quote unquote, is either using just proxies instead of VPNs, or spinning up a machine in a cloud and putting my VPN there.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Just putting a VPN made by yourself on a cloud provider. Even though it's still the cloud, it's safer. Those things are even more protected than just the VPN directly. Yeah.
So I just wanted to comment. The most well-respected encryption program for many years, TrueCrypt, they all of a sudden canceled the project and just disappeared off the face of the earth. And it's widely believed they got an NSA security letter, like one of those gag orders. They're not allowed to tell anyone if they got the letter. The only choice they would have had would be just to close the project, which is what everybody believes.
Free Julian Assange. That's my pitch. Free Snowden, free Assange. Get them back. Get them back to the US.
Yeah, so
Save these men. I'm sorry. We're banned from YouTube now. I'm sorry, everybody.
Any more questions? No? Yeah? Thank you. Great.
All right, we just got banned, but that's okay. That's okay, because we got the Gartner hype cycle, which is exciting because I have always thought that Gartner was bullshit, but I couldn't say it because I was working at Gartner. so anyway, so I'm sure this is good. Thank you. Although I got a question for you, just while we're setting up. Some of these folks connect to the airport Wi-Fi. What would you tell them to do to not have a problem?
Okay.
Okay,
This
wait.
might sound weird, but
I'm going fast.
if you're on the airport, you should have all the money you needed there. So just don't connect to your bank and just chat there, and that's it. Like, evade to do the things that you can put at risk in the first place. So yeah.
Don't check your balance.
Oscar, what if you were at a hotel? Should you bring your own router? Like, what should you do? Like, let's say you're staying for a week.
Something that I do might be a stretch, but there's some routers that are called GLI Net on Amazon. They're like super cheap, like $20, $40 something. You can configure those with one VPN that you made yourself. And once you got it configured, you can just go to the hotel, connect the router to the hotel, and then connect to that router and use your computers and stuff, and have them set that way. And because it's a router, you are completely sure that all of your data is going across the VPN and not just part of it. That is something that can happen from time to time. So yeah, that's something I might do if you're like really concerned.
Thank you. Applause. All right.
All right. How many of you have heard of the Gartner hype cycle? A couple of you. All right. So the Gartner hype cycle is essentially a descriptive cycle for how technology is introduced, spread, gains visibility, gains excitement, makes lots of promises, crashes and burns, and then actually is integrated in a useful way. So the Gartner hype cycle roughly posits that you have a technology trigger, a point at which a technology is introduced or posited or comes into existence. And then you have a hype cycle where it gains in visibility over time, and then you reach, I love the actual names for these. This is the peak of inflated expectations.
Yes. Like crypto.
Inflated
Like AI. Great.
Yes.
expectations. Can we think of anything that has a peak of inflated expectations right now?
JavaScript framework.
JavaScript framework. AI. 2 years ago, this would have been cryptocurrency.
Yes.
So, following this peak of inflated expectations, there is a trough of disillusionment. So this is the trough. We don't use the word trough in daily use often enough. It's a good word, a trough of disillusionment.
Is that like a bear market, or is it a...
This is the point at which everyone is really depressed about what the technology is actually capable of. And you're like, I am done with this and moving on to the next thing on the next hype cycle. So, trough of disillusionment. Name a technology that we are in that right now.
Bitcoin?
Most cryptocurrencies right now, I think, are deep in this trough of disillusionment.
Metaverse?
Yeah.
Metaverse, another great example.
Internet of Things.
Following that, we have this. This is called the slope of enlightenment. So this slope of enlightenment is the period in which the diehards who didn't jump out of the realm at this particular moment start to actually implement this technology in useful ways. This is where you've done away with this massive amount of hype and exposure, and you're like, how does this actually work? Is this actually the right tool for the job that we're trying to shoehorn this into? So this slope of enlightenment.
I love these terms.
I know. The entire reason I'm doing this talk is because I love these terms. You jumped my entire point, which is the entire hype cycle is in and of itself a hype cycle and mostly bullshit. You just jumped ahead. And then this is the plateau of productivity, the point at which the plateau of productivity. I talked to this a bunch of high schoolers today, and they didn't get half my jokes about this, and they didn't understand why the terms were so great, and I feel really, really disappointed. I'm definitely in the trough of disillusionment about the education state right now, but we'll get through it. So the Gartner hype cycle, the biggest criticism of it is basically that there's no scientific way to actually apply this. It is entirely on feelings and emotions. You have the peak of inflated expectations. Like that is in and of itself inflating expectations. And then you have the trough of disillusionment. This is not scientific at all. This is just another hype cycle and an attempt to kind of explain the life cycle of some technologies. Now it does fit some things very, very well. I think that there's a bunch of different curves that you'll see. Computers, things like that. Went through all this hype, and then we realized, computers, when all this hype was going on in the 80s and 90s, weren't as broadly applicable at that time as we thought that they would be. There were, processor speed limitations and hardware access limitations and just like a lot of really, really crappy computers being made in the 90s. And we went into this trough of disillusionment, but computers are integral to our daily lives. We've gone on this slope of enlightenment and this plateau of productivity. But because computers were one of those technologies that did have really profound impacts, one might posit that the curve was more like that. But that is entirely subjective. Cryptocurrency, on the other hand, right now is kind of done this and a little bit more extreme swing. But ultimately, it's entirely subjective and a lot of bullshit. So that's the Gartner hype cycle. Thank you.
Everybody put it together. Yes. And by the way, Sam Bankman-Fried got sentenced today. He's going to prison. 125 years, which 125 years is all of
No, he
stuff.
didn't get sentenced yet. He didn't get sentenced yet.
No, he hasn't
He
gotten
won't get
sentenced.
sentenced till March.
Okay. Well, I saw it on the news, but this is why there's fake news, guys. This is what we're talking about here. This is what we're talking about. All right. Awesome,
talk about
bro.
it. Yeah, talk about Gartner hype
All right.
cycle.
Any questions about this one?
I just love it, man.
He loves it.
Really
That's
love
a
it.
comment. Yes. It's a love letter.
Do you have any insight into what % of hype cycles end up going up and how many go down?
So the question was what percentage of hype cycles go up and go down. And this is why this is bullshit, because there is no metric by which you would measure, did it go up or did it go down? It's just a graph that makes people feel good or bad about the different state of things. And there is no scientific basis for this. And that's one of the big criticisms. So the Gartner hype cycle in and of itself right now is kind of in this trough of disillusionment of this actually isn't a useful tool. Yeah, you had a question?
Yeah, it's just, which one came first? Which one came first, this thing or Dunning-Kruger effect?
I'm pretty sure the Dunning-Kruger effect came first, but I'm not 100% sure. The Gartner hype cycle is a little bit more recent. I don't know the exact year, but I would suspect that it's a little bit more recent.
Kind of meshes with the saying, the future is already here, it's just not evenly distributed.
Yes, the future is already here, just not evenly distributed. Absolutely. The future is still on the slope of enlightenment, maybe. Might be at the trough of disillusionment right now if you're looking at the environmental future. That's not looking so rosy.
I took macroeconomics and microeconomics before computers. And I just said that, economics and the stock market was common sense made difficult. And now they have all the algorithms and stuff. So it's common sense on steroids.
Oh, absolutely. And the algorithms and the live monitoring and the computer controls, that all just operates off of this initial hype cycle right now. They're like, oh, something great is coming, so we're going to buy all the stocks. And then they hit the trough of disillusionment, they're going to sell all the stocks. And it just, creates market instability.
I got a question. Is it also kind of the Gartner hype cycle when Twitter lays off everybody and then everybody copies it, like for lols for
No
some
one
reason?
laughed at my Twitter joke when I was teaching this
I
morning.
was down with that.
Really disappointed. I'm like, this is like
I laughed. in my
textbook
brain.
Twitter right now.
I was laughing in my brain. I didn't want to get hit by a Tesla. This man has an army out here. I'm scared.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
So if crypto is at the bottom of the trough of disillusionment, your recommendation is buy the dip.
Buy the dip. My recommendation is not crypto, but my recommendation is there are some really useful applications for a blockchain that we can step away from the monetary and aspect of it. That's my personal view. Your mileage may vary dramatically.
I use it to buy poker chips.
Yes, I admit I do also use it to occasionally buy some poker chips.
I'm now selling poker chips.
Wow. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Woo! All right. Okay. Are we ready? We are. That's right. The tallest man in Silicon Valley coming up.
No,
He's gonna tell us about something. I don't remember what he's
Wait,
gonna tell us.
the governor of Florida is visiting?
Yeah. This is like really great for like we talk about
Yeah. Well, listen, guys. The chocolate drink was really good, so we gotta recognize this man right now.
Okay.
The Tao of Tao.
The Tao of Tao.
No, the
I'm gonna
What did you put that chocolate drink, bro?
yeah, it's like it was. Wait, how do I bring this over?
Hey, oh, that looks awesome.
So actually,
Move the whiteboard.
No, I actually want that there. It's perfect. It literally helped me segue into what I'm going to talk about. Because like, I accidentally didn't even realize I stumbled into like the whole cryptocurrency space like there. I wasn't even thinking about it. Like the rest of the folks in the community just dragged me into it. And then today, what I want to talk about is experiments of user psychology bootstrapping a DAO. Compared to like they did it. Troy money and like literally this DAO was bootstrapped with $0 what we personally my background is in like growth hacking, user psychology. So I was like, okay, let's like try every single psychological framework that I know of, throw it in there and see what happens. And then I kind of like started hearing it in a way that you could probably try to replicate it for this part of the curve, hopefully. Moss. There was like a very fascinating phenomenon during the Q&A session. He stood up here with this really cool looking guitar. And then suddenly you guys all of a sudden like, hey, can we use this for that, Basically, he kind of came here and created a frame. And then there was like a fucking empty space, right? And all of you just started training your ideas. Right. Now, if you actually want to go like the decentralized route, you have to like forget the whole startup paradigm where like the founder owns all the shares. Forget about the shares. Just create new shares every day. Someone throws in some new ideas. In fact, if you want to turn your stuff into a DAO, just like start issuing all the shares, like all those like folks who actually came up with a good idea, which is basically this model. There are actually four stages to it. First, you come up with create a space, and then people start joining the ideas. This is where the insight generation happens. It's like, okay, that's a great insight. Someone voting rights for you in the project. There's a great insight. Someone voting rights for you, right? There was a great insight. More voting rights for you, right? It's not like distributing the tokens. Actually, at this point, it's not even tokens. It's just Google Sheet, right? It's like, okay, 1 point for you, 1 point for you, 1 point for you. And anyway, that's like how they maintain their cap table in early stage startup. All right. Next. Viral loop. It's like, okay, great. I love your ideas, guys. Okay, let's like come together and have a chat about how we can make this guitar super awesome, right? Then you, it's like saying, I have a friend that really likes to make music. It's like, great. You know what? We're going to be online, like chatting like next Saturday. Can you like invite him? It's like, yeah, sure. And you brought him in, right? It's like, oh, good job, dude. More tokens for you. More voting rights. You basically like power the whole viral loop. Then what I observed personally in True-Side DAO, K-factor was above 1. Some of the members are like 7 degree removed from like the 2nd degree member. So it's like spreads, right? So once you have an idea, And then after that, like you can't go to like start building stuff. You like they start dragging people that actually knows how to build stuff. They actually come in and build whatever they want to build. And then like the final stage, you start like generating revenue. But that's like the life cycle of like DAO. Next, once you actually get past like the initial stage of like insights, right? Oh wow, we love cool music, right? It's like okay, when you think about cool music, you have like dopamine rush. It's like wow, it's cool music. Then it's like saying, hey, next time give the rest of our community some dopamine rush. You get some tokens. See? You tie the tokens to the dopamine rush. That's how you align the whole community together. And then you actually give that token meaning. Otherwise, it's bullshit right, at this point. Anyway, okay. Yeah. And then it's like the thing about like having like some numbers on some Google sheet versus like, hey, you know I have a wallet on my phone, and then someone randomly is like, that's a great idea. Install this. Name. Ching. You see like, oh shit, I got 10 tokens, man. 10 tokens. It's like even though it's just like fucking digital, it's like people feel, oh wow, it's the best shit ever. Right? You actually want to get them into that state. Okay. Next, right? As like an ecosystem like facilitator, this is the BJ form like Tiny Habits model. You don't want to design the actions in such a way that's like, dude, I want to like contribute, I want to actually contribute, I fucking have to like climb to the top of the Mount Everest or like down to the ocean. You know, that shit is not going to work. You have to design the actions in such a way that it's very easy to onboard members. For example, you was like, hey, guitar is cool, and then he came up with a great idea, right? It's like some tokens for you. It's like so frictionless to like onboard this new member, right, to your project. That's how it works, you know. Yeah. And then after that, you're like, this is like a different way to look at viral reels. Like hook project, which I used a lot when I was like running social networks. First, you have the trigger, right? Action, right? Those guys like give you your insights. Great. And then with them, it's like, hey, you know what? Here's your token, right? This is a variable reward. You were not even expecting it. And then now it's like, oh shit, I have some voting rights, right? In this project. That's your investment, isn't it? Then the more intrinsically motivated people will come to you and say, hey Mosh, this is great, let's try that, right? And they just keep on like investing in that. And then somewhere along the way it's like, you know what, let's like come up with this amplifier shit. And it's like everyone just looks at each other. Does anyone actually know how to build an amplifier? That dude knows, right? Basically, that's the external trigger. Someone comes to you and says, can you help? That's the external trigger. And you like put more people into the loop, right? That's how you like generate the background. And then guys, that's the end of my presentation. I mean like all the slides are there. I just like pull out some of the interesting ones. I kind of tested around like a few hundred psychological frameworks from like all the religious texts and all the historical like philosophical like books I could get on. These are the fun ones. Any questions?
Thank you.
Any questions?
Hey, have you actually tried to like run a project like this to completion, including generating revenue and all of that? Because I'm interested in it.
Yeah, we sponsored chocolate like last week. Basically, literally utilize all the psychological framework to bootstrap a trading company, an actual commodity trading company. That's Agriverse.
Could you just briefly mention some of the projects that we started and are currently working on that are under the DAO?
All right. So there's like Edgar, which is an AI. Basically, generates like sentiment that you can trade on. Then there was like this prediction marketing that kind of went sideways, did not really go well, just killed it. And then like there was like cipher defense, which kind of didn't really make sense. And it's like I think like Master started like adopting that use case itself. And then there's like Agriverse, which is kind of like the third shipment is arriving on the plane and things next week. It just got like loaded onto the truck in south of Brazil, Ilhéus, to go to Salvador. So next Wednesday it's going to arrive at the airport, and then I think a few days later it's going to arrive at San Francisco.
How does
this virtual organization interface with real-world problems like customs and trucks, ships, and lawyers?
So here's where it becomes interesting. Because of the viral loop here.
Oh wait.
Where is that? Here.
You start
pulling in lawyers at some point. Because I was like, guys, we are fucked. End of down. Let's all call it seppuku. Right? No. That dude actually knows the law. Bring him. He's like, all right, great. And then like, you know what? You have different legal rappers from different jurisdictions. So we have like a legal rapper like set up here. Legal rapper set up in Brazil. There's like one coming up in Switzerland. They all like perform different functions from the government standpoint. Right, separate companies, but behind the back, it's the same fucking community.
Yeah. And is your DAO today still tracking the spreadsheet, or are you actually distributing coins?
So here's what we do, right? Every 3 months, we will see what's the tokens that's accumulated on the spreadsheet that's not airdropped yet, and the governor, one of the governors, will just like go and just airdrop this and ping the members like this contribution for the past 3 months. Here you go. Then you know that dopamine gets triggered, right? Oh shit, I actually got some shit, right? Then you like energize that dude for like 3 months. Yeah.
Okay, what percentage of the people, how many people are in the DAO?
Right now, 200 plus
token holders. And what percentage of those would you say are inspired by the idea and exploring where it goes? And what percentage are looking at this we're going to do some cool projects and make some money?
So here's where it's interesting, right? None of the ideas are my ideas. My idea is like, hey guys, there's a space, right? So they kind of self-inspire, right? And then like I was drawing a lot from like Buddhism, Taoism, and Hinduism, and I Ching, and it's like guys, you're here because you want to work for someone. You're here for self-actualization, for enlightenment. And this is your sat seva. That's what the Hindus call it. Service to the absolute truth. This is your sat seva. So help yourself.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Are you a madman or a genius?
All right.
Yes, I'm nobody. Why not both? Yeah, sometimes both.
Need to drag her over here. Yes. Nope, hold on. Let's drag her over. There we go. Sorry, the way that it works in macOS Sonoma is
awkward, right?
It's so convoluted.
Do we get to heckle you now?
Huh?
Do we get to heckle you now?
Yeah, of course.
I can do that on my Samsung.
Feel free. No, it's okay. I'm just looking.
Do you need tech support?
Yeah.
Would you like me to explain to you how this works?
That makes sense.
I am not.
Because I haven't had enough of that in Silicon Valley, as a woman.
It's so nice.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
How does this work?
I don't even care about it. All right, I'm gonna talk about it. All right. Okay. I've been working in Silicon Valley for almost 12 years, and this is why I'm leaving for the Eurozone. So basically, I've worked in security and privacy pretty much my entire life. I was one of the original kids who was doing DS like that in the early 2000s, and I'm leaving. I'm leaving Silicon Valley at the end of this month, and the reason for that is, well, obviously there's been a bit of a tech hit here. We know that. But what else? We also know that a lot of executives in the U.S. have decided that security is not material to the company's stock price, which means it doesn't affect their stock price enough to actually make them want to invest in better security without any kind of further regulation. The thing is, as well, every time there's a security breach, Americans get more and more used to it and therefore care less. So, we don't really have the proper regulations here to protect people's privacy and security. Now, I've written about this extensively, and it's been difficult to find an organization that is aligned with the values that I have as someone who wants to protect users and privacy. A lot of this stuff has shifted to profit over people or not protecting users, right?
That's true.
So, yeah, okay, so let's talk about it more positively. So there's a huge demand. If you can't get a job here in Silicon Valley, there's a huge demand for tech people in Europe, almost everywhere, including Sweden, Norway, Ireland, the UK, Switzerland, Austria, Germany. And I have chosen the Germany-Austria border, so I'm going to be heading to Constance, Germany, on an EU blue card visa at the end of the month. And it's hard saying goodbye to everything I've worked on for most of my life. But I loved it here. And another thing you need to know is that the EU needs a lot of modernization. They're behind in a lot of things like payments. They're behind with a lot of different things. So they really, really want any kind of tech person, and it doesn't matter if you have a degree, depending on the country. And so there's a huge shortage. And there's other non-EU countries that also have a shortage, like China and Japan. But I mainly wanted to go to the EU because as an information security person, there's more jobs for us because it matters to EU companies. But there's some cultural interestingness, but for sure. But if you've ever wanted to leave the US, there's a huge skills shortage, not just in cybersecurity, but any tech job. And it's not just the EU and it's not just Asia. Australia and New Zealand are having the same issue. It's like Silicon Valley absorbed all the talent and now everybody's laid off. And so it's like, oh my gosh, and so a lot of people they're going back. I used to work with a bunch of French engineers. They went back. They went back to France. So I'm really sad because I love this place, but until the economy gets better here or it comes back, I don't really think that this is the place to be right now for most tech people. Not everyone, but most people. So anyway, so I'm gonna probably have an Auf Wiedersehen party here at some point, just to celebrate Deutschland and German, and we'll all speak German. It'll be fun. So, ich habe ein bisschen Deutsch. I have a little bit. It's not enough, but they'll take anybody pretty much. So if you want to leave, if you are like, wow, it's traffic and it costs so much, yes. Okay, open for questions.
Are you, do you feel like saying who you're going to join?
Sorry. I could, but I'm just joining a cybersecurity consulting firm. It's not, well known in the US. There's so many questions. Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a comment. If anybody has dual citizenship, use it. My nephew has dual Danish and American citizenship, which means he has EU citizenship.
Right.
And that is gold. He worked in Ireland, and he can travel anywhere in Europe. Oh, I have a loud voice.
I can hear.
That's the people online.
That's a true point. If you have dual citizenship, use it. Just to repeat myself for the people online. My nephew has dual Danish American citizenship, so he has EU citizenship and can work pretty much anywhere in Europe except England, but Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah, also just another thing I want to say, we're kind of a debt-driven economy, so if debt is expensive, we're going to continue to suffer. That's the truth. As soon as, like when I first got to Silicon Valley, you just had to have an idea and people would just give you money. It was like crazy, it was flying everywhere. But it's not like that anymore. A lot of people are struggling, so yeah.
Would you call this the trough of disillusionment? Silicon Valley?
Well, the thing about the trough of disillusionment is there has to be a rise again after that. And I'm not sure if that's going to happen, if I'm honest. So.
It's like post-2000, huh? Or post-2008.
It's a little bit, I don't know. You know, I'm not an economist. I'm not an economist, so I don't want to comment on that. But what I can comment on is there are tons of jobs for InfoSec people and engineering people and developer people and IT people. They're just not here. Yeah. So.
Euro is going into recession, I heard.
Can you give him the mic? I can't hear.
I think he said the EU is going into recession.
Yeah. I mean, like Germany was going into recession. How come they have like InfoSec jobs if the whole economy is going down?
How do you think our economy is going?
Yeah.
So comparatively, like they are still better.
Well, let me explain this to you. If your job is not material to the stock price, you're not considered essential, right, in the US. So why would InfoSec people stay in the US if their job is not essential to the company?
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, I have one more question. So the remote jobs, how about the remote jobs? Still, they encourage working remotely in Europe. It's a borderless situation. So a lot of remote jobs are still existing, and if COVID, type is still there, I don't know. But what about the AI? How it is affecting the job market, and
in the EU?
Is it going to take any job security? Anything can be taken using AI?
In the EU, you have an employment contract, so it's not at-will employment. So they can't mass fire people like they can here. It depends on the country. I can speak directly for Germany. They don't have at-will employment. So these mass firings don't happen. Another reason mass firings don't happen is a lot of the Eurozone operates still on cash and not debt. So the price of debt and the interest rate doesn't affect the employment as much.
Another other thing for your question, specifically on European Union, I don't know if you've seen that they made iPhone use USB-C and sideload app. They do care about standards, security, compliance, regulation. That means that security is something very important there because it's mandated by the government. So that space is there's always space for security there because it's mandated.
Yeah, and I've also wanted to work with U.S. representatives to make more privacy and security regulation. They won't do it. That's the problem.
Yep.
It's not considered important by U.S. Americans.
So you're saying companies can't fire their entire InfoSec staff like Twitter did and just get away with it?
No, because they take a more planned approach to actually doing things and planning things out rather than randomly hiring tons of people, firing them. I believe our jobs right now in tech, at least in FANG, are needlessly unstable. We don't need to have this kind of instability in our jobs. And by the way, Google has offices in France and Australia, and they don't do this hiring-firing thing there. So.
Actually, I'm just looking at it from a different perspective, right? It's like what's happening right now feels to me like a wildfire going through like the Californian forest. The way the ecosystem works is that when the fire burns through the undergrowth, all the trees die except the redwood. So what happens is that those smaller trees, they just become fertilizer for these redwoods, and those guys become like more stronger and more compounded through this.
Yeah, can I respond to that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
There are also labor things that are happening in the US that are also driving some changes as well as a cost of living crisis, as well as healthcare crisis, other things. You know, Walgreens and all the pharmacies just had a 3-day walkout.
so no one could get drugs. So this is what I'm saying. We're really going through something in the US.
Yeah.
And for my own peace and stability, I'm just going to take a break for a second.
I have a question because you obviously did homework.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Canada or Mexico, South America?
Yeah, so there is something, actually, they're very desperate in Canada for tech workers. So there's a website called Path to Canada. It's actually run by the Canadian government, where you submit your resume and they find a job for you. Like, that's how simple it is. So the thing is, I didn't want to end up in Canada because I speak like B1 German, and I wanted to use those skills and learn new things like that. So.
Actually, I just wanted to add to what you like said, right? It's like there's this new term that's like floating around called techno-feudalism, which is kind of like the serfs are kind of like really being pushed on. It's like all this like infrastructure you're talking about is kind of being pulled out.
To add to the fire expansion thing, so I was in Hawaii, and there is a tree called lava tree. It adapts to the burning. It grows the seed in the branch itself. So when the land is full of lava, after it cools down, it drops with the full grown small tree, like then drops on the cooled surface.
Yeah.
So it is like us. We have to grow small enterprise when you are working itself, so that like startups. So we know it is going to burn. So then you have to drop your ideas and develop it. It is like growing small trees, like a startup or even ideas. It has to grow when you are in the job itself. So when there is a disaster happens, we have to survive.
Also, I reject the idea that there has to be massive destruction to have a period of innovation. Just FYI.
So I agree with what you said, that this burn cycle is probably partially responsible for the unicorns, the FANGs, being so successful, making so much money. But it's awfully tough when you are the firewood and you have to pay rent.
That's true.
Yeah, I reject it ethically, honestly, this needless instability. I reject it ethically as a person.
It's kind of like allowing feudalism to form.
Yeah, and by the way, this is the first time I've been laid off ever in my life, but I lived through 8 other layoffs at Google and other companies. And the truth is, it's also emotionally traumatizing when you're working and then all your coworkers are gone and you have to do their job as well. This is unethical, in my opinion.
That's feudalism right there.
Yeah.
Just a quick comment. Also, I think that we're also seeing one of the consequences of the weakening of the labor movement over the last 60 years and really concerted efforts to undermine that, particularly in the last 10 to 20 years. When you remove those labor protections, you have an inherently unbalanced power dynamic where companies can just lay off at will mass amounts of workers without any consequences, without any impact on them. They'll just hire new people and replace them and contribute to that instability. And they use that as a tool, a wedge, where if you want stability, we'll pay you less, but you'll have stability. And then you turn around and suddenly you don't have that stability either. And that's it's straight out of the playbook of labor negotiations for years and years and years.
Can I respond? Sorry, can I respond to that? I just want to add to it. I think that was a really, really good point as well. It doesn't contribute to productivity or morale to have constant layoffs, to have constant hiring, firing, constantly replacing people. And additionally, Google is trying to hire people back at hundreds of thousands of dollars less. And you remember, we still have an affordability crisis in the Bay Area. My apartment's almost $4,000 a month. So what I'm saying is, if they hire you back at $200,000 less, just cash comp, not stock, they don't display the stock on these job ads, what is that saying to people generally, right? Is it saying that they're valued, that they care about users, that they care about you? No, they don't.
So just interesting, just a few days ago, I had a conversation with somebody here at the dojo who was from Australia, and she mentioned that us Americans, like fish who don't realize they're in water, don't realize that we have a constant layer of anxiety because we are so unsure about, will my employment last out the year, 2 years, you just don't know. And it's just something foreign to us. I grew up here, I've always worked here, that people in other countries where it's not as easy to fire people, that they don't have that constant anxiety.
Yeah, that was my friend. She came here from Brisbane. They both came here. They were considering moving to Silicon Valley because they heard about the innovation here. When they got here and they actually saw what was going on, they did not want to move here anymore. And that's what I'm saying is like, people don't want to be working long hours, unable to date, unable to have a relationship, unable to do anything, storming down to Sunnyvale 2 hours and 47 minutes away every single day, not able to do anything but work, creating work as your identity. So if you lose your job, you lose your identity. I want to create my own identity. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make it positive. Also, Austria has a 4-day work week, 7-hour days. It's really chill. They have free healthcare, 6 hours of paid leave, whatever. I'm sorry, 6 weeks of paid vacation to start. Like, I will take the pay cut, baby. That's worth it for me. I'm gonna go live a life. Thank you. Shut up, guys. We're gonna have a beer and bratwurst party here.
Okay.
Some countries have a mandatory retirement age, though.
Some countries do have a mandatory retirement age. I want to thank everyone, particularly for this type of conversation. We're always try to be a place that doesn't shy away from hard conversations, and what we're going through in Silicon Valley is certainly one of those. And I think that this has been a really, really good discussion, and brought up a lot of really good points. And just like anything that we are involved in, we always want to operate with a certain level of critical analysis of the situation around us, the situations we're in, and always be thinking about how things could be better and what the challenges are right now. And I think this highlights a lot of the current challenges in the labor markets and labor discussions and disputes right now, particularly in the US, but going on around the world. France recently went through a relative period of unrest with a lot of their labor movements, when some, what we would consider some very generous benefits were potentially removed. France came out in force and put that idea to rest. And that's one of the powers of a very motivated labor force that understands the power for workers exists in the workers working together. Because the reality is you, in general, don't have employers who are always looking out for their employees' benefits. And you really want to make sure that you are advocating for yourself, advocating for your well-being, your quality of life. And if a situation is not doing well for you, I encourage you to look for better options. And that applies to labor force, applies to relationships, applies to your living situations. Be always aware of how you can improve your life. Get additional training, go back to school, take a seminar, go out and network with people that can be potential connections for new jobs. We offer a lot of different events like that here, so hopefully you'll come back out and participate with some of our networking events, some of our resume building events, and things like that, and some of our workshops on Python and Rust and things like that. We're always looking for people to be part of this community, because this is a community that works to support each other and works to uplift all of the members here. That's one of the core reasons why we're a nonprofit instead of a for-profit company, because we want to be community first, not motivated by underlying profits. So thank you all for coming out here tonight, and thanks for listening to my end of the night rant. And thank you for all of your contributions tonight and all the great talks. So have a great night.